I think they do.
So. Okay, enough on that.
Yeah.
What I have to I don't get about you. You just went on this rant about me. It's crazy.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't get when we go out to eat or go to a restaurant and something isn't the way Sean wants it, he doesn't say anything. I'm like, well, why don't you just go up and ask, or why don't you tell her, nope. That's fine. I'm like, why? It's not even hard. It's not a big deal. But he just is like, it's fine, whatever. And just like eats it that way or doesn't eat it or just deals. I don't get it.
Somehow this has created this weird culture in our relationship where Cory feels some sort of need to feel the anxiety for me. But then when it comes, I make a comment like, oh, I didn't know this was on it. But then I eat it without complaint.
Let it go.
I eat it without complaint. I never mention it again. And Cory the whole dinner is like, I don't understand why you didn't say it. You could have just said something to them. They'll make you another one. Like, I'm like, whatever. I don't care at this point.
Okay.
Now I get to say what I don't get about you.
I'm sorry.
Forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, no. We're going to have to come back to it.
I wouldn't say that it's not that I don't get this. I just don't really relate to it. Because it's stereotypical enough to where, like, I understand it's a thing. You know what I'm saying?
For women or?
For women.
Oh, okay.
You're a lot better about it now, but especially when we first got married, the amount of time that it took you to, like, get ready to go somewhere
I am a lot better now.
Was astronomical.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, if it was like, hey, we gotta be if we need to be somewhere in 20 minutes, not gonna happen.
It was like a combination of insecurity and I just wasn't ever forced to be like, okay, I have to be fast. But especially now with the kids and stuff, I'm like, I just have to be able to be ready fast.
Having kids has totally changed the game. I don't really judge other people's interests. If you want to sit and watch like makeup tutorials on YouTube, I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like I'm not. It doesn't.
Sometimes
I'm not like funny. That's weird. Why are you doing that? Like who does that? You nerd.
You know your spouse had a terrible day. What do you do at home in preparation for them to arrive?
This implies.
Rarely do I know Sean had a terrible day before he's coming home.
Yeah, I don't communicate if I've had a terrible day.
I don't even know if he's ever had a terrible day that I knew about. I know he's had days where he was like, oh, today was long. Or, don't you think? You just don't complain about work hardly at all. Probably I would...
I don't complain. I just feel like I don't really complain.
Try to...
So I'm really positive. I'm really awesome.
Not necessarily positive, you just don't complain. I think I would try to either like let you have your space, like let you lay down, or like have the kids sleep when you got home, or like dinner ready, maybe. Just not badger you with like, can you get Calvin this, and can Emmy wants a snack, and I feel like I wouldn't badger you as much.
Yeah. I normally, if Cory's like out working or something, if I know
it's been a long time since one of us has been.
I know if she's like, if there's something specific that like she is stressed about, then I just try to help with that. But if it's just whatever, then I just do anything that I think would help. Mostly the cleaning. I feel like I just start to pitch in,
or
straighten up, or do the dishes.
Definitely been times where I'm just like, I'm out of here, and I just like go shut myself in the room, and he just keeps the kids quiet out here and plays with them and hangs out with them until I'm ready to come back out. Okay. Let's see. 3 more questions. What mannerisms or phrases have you inherited from your spouse?
Pretty soon after we got married, my mom made a comment about how I kept saying, I feel like, because I never said that ever before, and she says it nonstop. Many of her sentences start with, I feel like, and then she explains whatever the situation is. And now I say I feel like a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of saying I think or other ways to express your opinion.
There are phrases that I say that you say, but I can't think of any of them right now. Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah.
Cory does that now. Which, for the record, I'm sure everyone knows, I originated, and one of my good friends, Joseph, copied everything funny that I've ever said. And so.
What would you change about your current lifestyle right now?
Well, I'd get rid of the kids. And
I'd want a backyard.
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Because that'd be nice to just like. We have a balcony, but there's nothing to do out there. And we keep the diapers out there so no one wants to go out there. It's gross.
Yeah.
Um.
I would just want to live in a house,
Yeah.
not an apartment.
Yeah.
For obviously the space, but
I'd want to eat out more, but
the privacy.
we give that up, and it's not a big deal. Go on more dates. Like not having to worry or stress about like who's we gonna get to watch the kids. Like having to ask people or feeling like you have to pay for a babysitter. Or
Yeah.
who chooses the Netflix show for the evening?
It's usually a joint decision.
I feel like I usually say like you just choose, but sometimes I feel like
You feel like?
yeah, sometimes I feel like Sean chooses what he thinks I want. And vice versa. Like if he's like, yeah, you just choose, I kind of try to find something that I think, well, Sean will probably like this too. Okay, now some questions that were on Facebook. Where was your first date? The Mayan.
Took her to a restaurant in Sandy
Yeah.
called the Mayan, which was
Went out of business.
it's like it went out of business. We wanted to go there on our 1 year anniversary of dating, and it was already out of business.
We were like, oh.
So when we went in there, Cory had never heard of this place, and we went in, and she was like, because it said like Mayan Adventure or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, did not know what we were doing.
And you get up there, and you can't see the seating area. It looks very much like a theme park attraction when
like
you
you're
walked
in
in.
line, and it's all
It was
like
a
line.
queue, and you went in and you put your order, and then you had to wait, and then
They
announced the thing. They're like, Gilmore Party of 2, your adventure's ready to begin.
I was like,
She freaked out. She's
what
like,
are they
what?
gonna make us do?
What is this?
I thought for sure it was gonna be like some Hawaiian luau where we were gonna have to like go up on stage and like dance a luau or do some activities like a what's that show on Nickelodeon, that Temple of Doom or whatever, the
Legends of the Hidden
Legends
Temple.
of the Hidden Temple type thing. I was just not into it.
It was just a
But it was just sit down
a
and
Mexican
eat for dinner
food restaurant.
and watch cliff divers dive into water doing flips and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Who makes the dinner/restaurant decisions? I make the dinner decisions because I cook dinner. I usually though I'm like, what's some ideas for dinner? And Sean's like, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, what about this? And he says yes. Restaurants?
I think Cory makes most of those too.
I'm usually the one that's more like, I don't want Taco Bell. Because Sean always wants Taco Bell. We're going to eat fast food. Usually Sean wants Taco Bell.
If it's fast
It's
food, I
cheap
prefer
and-
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But
I get
we
sick of it
rarely eat.
sometimes.
We one rarely eat out, and two, we usually aren't eating fast food anymore. We're just
Yeah.
like, if we get a gift card somewhere, we go to a restaurant.
We go there. So if you give us a gift card, then that's where we're going. So you make the decisions.
We also like Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, Chick-fil-A. That's true. It's just expensive though. Is that embarrassing to say? They were like Chick-fil-A. It's not.
Careful, it's a little hard on the wallet, if you know what I mean.
Okay, let's see. Do you guys plan out your weekends or just go with the flow? I think a little of both.
Both. Some weekends are very planned out, where we're almost like
Like
over
we have an
plan it.
activity on Saturday morning and we have something we want to do in the evening. Sundays are always go with the flow, and sometimes I wish they were more planned. Sometimes Sundays we're like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
But I more like to be like, I saw this thing online, we should go do it. But I'm learning that sometimes it's nice to just stay home, even though usually on Saturday morning I like have all this anxiety, like, we have to go do something, we have this time together, let's like make plans, let's get out of the house, let's everyone get ready. And like 99% of the time, by the time we get home, I'm like, why do we ever leave the house? I learned that from you. Because Shauna always says that, like, why do we ever leave the house? Like, we like being home, it's comfortable at home.
My number one choice is usually let's stay home. Like, I'm totally fine to stay home all the time.
Yeah. But sometimes it's nice to get out.
Yeah.
So we vibe off each other. What are your favorite things about one another? Go ahead. Tell them all your favorite things about me. My favorite things about Sean are he's a really good provider. He never complains. He gets up every morning. And, like, I never have to feel worried or concerned that he's, like, stressed about work, doesn't like work, doesn't want to be at work, bad things are happening at work.
You, like, rattled those off. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, he's just, like, takes care of business. I like that he's funny and we think the same way about, like, majority of things that we talk about. And so we always have a lot to talk about. We get each other that way.
Yeah, if our, like, interests in terms of hobbies are, like, polar opposites, our opinions on, like, life and, like, observations about behavior in other people's behavior in other people is, like, 100% identical.
Yeah.
Like, we usually, like, can look at someone doing something weird and then we'll look back at each other and we're like,
weird.
what are they doing? That's strange. What's my question? What is my favorite thing about you?
Yeah. Do you even have one?
No.
Okay.
She's very affectionate and, like, loving and compassionate with me and now with our kids.
Thanks.
Whereas, like, I'm much more of the tough love,
Yeah.
kind of, like, let's just brush it off. She's, like, way more nurturing. And so I like that about her and something that I liked when we were dating and attracted me to her.
Okay.
I would say the other, she took one of my answers too about we think the same way about a lot of things.
Yeah. That's one
We
thing
talk about
always,
that all the time.
Yeah.